Gurdons.
There's somebody in the chat is from Vienna. Is like, I want to know what's famous that we have.
My famous
You
what?
have THQ Nordic there, and they're all going to be chilling out and drinking beer and watching the World Cup. Now,
That stock photo is of Austria. We don't know. We don't know if it's Vienna for sure.
I believe it's Salzburg.
No. Now, to be fair, the World Cup is fun to watch, even if you don't really care about football/soccer.
Yeah.
I also went past the end of the music there.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
You spent too long in Canada, Kathleen.
Vienna, famous for Vienna.
Oh, my name is, he says, 100 bits for I love Gierden.
Teeny tiny sausages.
Yep.
Yes, that come in cans at least. Ice cream cakes.
I feel like in Vienna they probably don't come in cans.
No.
I would assume
Because you wouldn't need to can them because they'd be local.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. We always used to.
I feel
When
like
I was
canned Vienna sausages are a leftover of the 50s.
when I was a kid in England, Marks and Spencer sold little creamy jammy tea cookies called Viennese Fancies.
Oh, yeah.
So I assumed that I could just go to Vienna and be like, I'd like 3 Fancies.
That would not be misconstrued in any way.
Presumably.
You probably wouldn't get arrested.
I still don't know how you ask for a Danish in Denmark. I need
Pastry.
a thing. I need the pastry.
Is that good for recording?
Mm-hmm. Wiener melange. What the hell's Wiener melange?
I'm not particularly interested in watching the boys take off their shirts, but many people watching soccer do enjoy that part where they trade jerseys at the end for sportsmanship.
Yes.
And they're all sweaty and they take off their shirts. I'm like, meh. But
Danish pastries are not from Denmark. Well,
in the same way that Scotch eggs in Scotland are just eggs.
you know what is from
Chickens do it.
that's what chickens lay. Enrobed in sausage and breaded.
Yeah.
Scottish chickens are amazing.
They're not deep fried though.
Well, no, you got to do that yourself. I mean, the chicken can't do everything.
It'd be weird otherwise.
Yeah, the Nanaimo bars. Those are from here.
Yeah.
Well, from Nanaimo.
You can't go to Nanaimo and just ask for a bar, though. That's not going to get you much.
Yeah. I
What
guess
bar?
not. What bar? Did anyone else expect Graham to ask Kathleen to prom at the end? I don't think they'd let us into prom.
No, I think they'd be like, what are you old? Are you old people here to hit on the teenagers? You're disgusting. Get out of
Typically,
here.
adults that do not have children attending that school are not
Or
often welcomed at the school.
Or teachers.
Well, yeah, that was implied.
Teachers don't have children attending the school.
True.
Necessarily. All right.
Yes, Texas toast, known as thick bread, is actually from Texas. Yeah. My toaster was never big enough to fit it.
To be fair, though, that's like not an invention. That's just being more lazy about cutting your bread.
Oh, I think they want the bread thick on purpose.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
like
yeah.
French toast.
But they're making the best. Like the first person who invented Texas toast, just cut the bread less.
Yeah, just made it thicker slices.
And then it was like, hey, this is actually pretty good. We should continue doing this.
Mm-hmm.
We should make real thick bread.
It's like it's the origin of potato chips.
Right.
That there's
my scallop potatoes are cut too thick.
My scallop potatoes are cut too thick. The guy like sends it back like 3 times, and then the chef is like, okay then. Fuck you. I'm going to make these scalloped potatoes so thin, there's no possible way you're going to get them on a fork. And the guy's like, thank you, this is what I've wanted all this time.
It's like,
well, my trolling failed.
Why do I suspect they'll be invited to some school's prom now that they've said something?
I mean,
I don't think we have the reach to have like some
okay,
random
how about-
school be like, do you guys want to come and chaperone our prom?
how about this? I don't want to chaperone your prom. I don't want to be responsible. But I will come and play music at your prom. Won't that be great? Won't everybody who's expecting to hear the greatest hits, won't you just be like, fantastic for me coming on the microphone and explaining why we should be listening. Well, I mean, I'd probably play stuff that people want to hear too, but like nobody wants to hear that Kendrick Lamar just won like a Pulitzer for music. They just want to hear the hits, right? He did though.
They want to hear Despacito 7 times.
We're not playing Despacito any times.
Good.
Kathleen, I feel like, regardless of your actual choices for music playing, I think as a DJ, as soon as you are getting on the mic and explaining to the audience why you chose a specific song,
and I would too.
You've lost.
Yeah.
Like you could have a very eclectic mix of stuff that doesn't appeal to everybody's tastes.
Yeah, like it's like.
But if you have to actually explain it on the microphone to the dance floor, I think that's not the way you want to go.
Is that not how you're supposed to pronounce Despacito? That's how they say it in the song. Well, they have more pauses. They say Despacito, and then the beat comes in. It's not a very exciting song, unfortunately. Stories.
Yeah.
Prom.
Oh, I definitely probably could play Sandstorm.
Speaking of storms, Storm Eye, Fortnite, get it? Prom. Man, this has got to be one of those American school things. The
This promposal
the
thing?
promposals.
Just putting a bigger emphasis on the high school graduation.
Yeah, just making a big deal out of the people would ask people to dances, but they'd never do like a whole thing.
Well, it's always like my high school was very much like a preparatory school.
Oh yeah, especially
Yeah.
And so like graduation from high school was actually kind of a minor ass thing.
Yeah.
Like they didn't do the gowns and caps and stuff. You got like a little like plaque or whatever.
Yeah.
But they were just like, yeah, you graduate high school, yeah. But what are you doing then?
It's hard not to think that like some aspect of it in the States is like, have you seen how much post-secondary costs? This might be all you achieve. Make a big deal about it. My brother promposed by arranging hay bales. Holy shit.
Promposals were a thing when I was in high school 3 years ago. It's somebody who's a little younger says that there were some promposals in their Canadian high school 4 years ago.
Well, that stuff does tend to drift northwards.
But I mean, like, here's the thing. Like, I feel like there was always, like, big deal, like, prom asking things going on, even at my high school, for, like, the groups of kids who cared about it.
I guess.
Like, there were definitely some, I went to a really big high school. There are some girls who really gave so many shits about prom and were very invested in making sure that their boys went and looking nice and, like, all of this stuff. I'm old, but for reference, I did go to my prom. And I wore a pair of Doc Marten combat boots and a very plain gray dress, which was not in the style, but I look better now in my like my photos have aged much better than other people in my grade, I'm sure. And I did join my high school prom committee because I wanted to try and influence the music choices.
How'd that go?
Poorly, but I got some things in there.
Someone in my grad class wanted our grad song to be Pet Cemetery. That idea didn't go very far.
Yeah, I think it's one of those
The teacher in charge was like, "How does it go?" And he's like, "When I die, bury me in a pet cemetery." And she's like, "Okay, no, but thank you for your input."
Yeah, I should have skipped
If you're
prom.
embarrassed to tell the teacher the lyrics, that's probably a good indication.
he wasn't nearly so embarrassed.
But yeah, I think it's also one of those things where like, if one couple does it, that just like ruins it.
Yeah.
Because then everyone's like, well, why aren't we doing that? Like you just like asked me and was like, hey, you want to do the thing? I didn't get any kind of special thing. We should have a fancy thing, and then it's just an escalation. It has to get more and more fancy.
Oh, thank you, Mega Rami.
You guys had drinking at prom?
Did
Wow, Germany sounds great.
Is that where they just? But like Germany has a different legal drinking age, I'm sure, and it might be like
Different culture around it. Yeah.
Yeah, where they might be like, we trust you to drink responsibly.
Not our school. They're
Anyway.
making a tiny Genesis. But the people making a tiny Genesis made a different tiny Genesis that was bad. But maybe this tiny Genesis will be better? Who can say?
Who cares?
And it's the fact that in
As
the
somebody
same...
who owned a Sega Genesis, I think my conclusion is correct.
But because Sega had this like a press conference special event thing where they announced a bunch of stuff, and the fact that they announced this cool retro mini Genesis, and at the same event also announced that they're going to be releasing a bunch of old Sega games on the Switch, just seems a little bit weird in terms of messaging.
Very strange. I think I explained the Bully Hunters thing pretty well. There was a Polygon did a big story on it that got updated within the last couple hours with a statement from FCB, the marketing company, who said that, which I mentioned in the story, they said this was us. This was our thing, and it did not go how we wanted it to go, and so the whole thing is shut down.
I guess fessing up to it is probably good. They didn't be I don't know, some streamers were just doing something.
Yeah.
It was not our deal at all.
Yeah.
But it's just why?
Two flower, correct.
I can fully imagine people thinking that was a good idea, but the fact that
Every part of the execution was a failure.
and the fact that some legitimate anti-harassment organizations got involved when it, clearly,
I assume that they
even if it worked exactly like they said it would work, still would have been terrible.
I assume that they thought that the video gaming aspects of it understood what they were doing, you know. And one of the, I mean, it's also just every part of the messaging was super aggressive and hostile. I didn't talk about it in the story because, pinpointing one of the hosts doesn't help. But one of their hosts was on Twitter saying things like, "If you don't tune into the stream and support the stream, then you believe in misogyny." And it's that's not a helpful attitude to take in a situation like this. That you are harming your message by doing that. And so it's just stuff like that, and the general tone of the whole thing was laughable. It was just a bad idea.
I think the real problem here is nobody in this campaign, from concept to brainstorming to execution, had a singular clue, right?
evidently.
Nobody knew what was going.
Yeah, and just the weirdly the weirdly sort of feigned or real surprise that that even before the stream and everything, that people were coming after them and digging up stuff from their past and complaining that criticizing the event in all sorts of different ways. But the idea that they're somehow surprised that being we're gonna take down the bullies, and the bullies are well, we're gonna be investigating.
Yeah,
you.
we're going to be really mad about that
Yeah.
then, and act accordingly. It's it's not right, but it's not surprising.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're we're gonna go kick that hornet's nest, and the hornets are whoa,
Hey.
wait a fucking minute here.
And then you're whoa, what the fuck is with all these hornets?
I haven't even kicked the nest, and they're mad about it. Yeah, you said you were going to come over here and kick it.
Yeah,
And then you kick it, and everyone's wow, that looked really stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We've had a few questions about Magic and stuff and the pre-release. We'll talk to we will address those after we finish talking about all of the news that was fit to talk about, not fit to talk about, because many people are here for gaming news.
And then Billy Mitchell.
Oh, Billy Mitchell. They investigated. Yeah, it turns out they overwhelming evidence that he probably used an emulator to rig up a higher score than he should have been able to get is overwhelming and also evidence. So they've stripped him of his scores, and because Twin Galaxies has stripped him of his scores, Twin Galaxies is the official Guinness doesn't maintain their own video game scores. They just basically farm it out to Twin Galaxies. So if you're not a Twin Galaxy score holder, you're not a Guinness record holder anymore.
I love that the two stories in a row, the Bully Hunters and the Billy Mitchell King Kong story both ended with basically like grow up.
Yeah.
Except that the people involved in the stories are like a generation apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's some stories we didn't put in the main show. Dwarf Fortress is giving the dwarves memories.
What a great idea.
And but it sounds like all their memories are bad.
Well, they don't have to be bad.
Yeah.
The example, so the obviously Dwarf Fortress, incredibly complex game.
Yeah, wow.
It's the epitome of this sort of incredibly complex simulation that's actually represented very simply on the computer. You have like your dwarf has a complex inner life with thoughts and feelings about hundreds of different items that he may encounter, but in the game it's just a little like square or like a letter that moves around. But the way it moves, and to the outside observer, one would think the way it moves around is basically random.
Yeah.
But no, they're following all sorts of internal logic.
Lord Manny says, this is how Westworld starts.
Well, this is it, right?
Yeah.
Like, so they're doing. And he's like, okay, we want to give them memories. Yeah, and that is actually exactly how Westworld starts.
Wow.
He wants to give them so that they can remember important things, important occurrences that have happened, and it's like they can remember like 8 things or something. And this article is talking about how it actually is a lot like the Inside Out system, where you have like the sort of pillar memories. But my favorite is the dispassionate way that the developer is talking about testing this. He's saying, so before the update could be considered release, Adams had to test it out. So he dropped a boulder on a dwarf, killing the dwarf instantly, and then let the simulation run so a dwarf with like a bunch of dwarfs standing around it.
Yeah.
He killed one with a boulder. The result, there was, for the next year in the simulation, there were tantrums, depression, oblivious wandering. So you figured it seemed to be basically working. So when the first long-term memories were stored for one of the dwarves, the memories that it was storing was horror at seeing their lover die, grief at their lover being dead, fright at being haunted by their dead lover, and they all had proper impact values, not likely to be overwritten anytime soon, certainly not by the old culprits of nice furniture and completing jobs. Although those would decrease stress, so it's stuff. So apparently, it turned out that one of the dwarves that was witnessing the thing happened to be the lover of the dwarf that he smooshed with the rock, and he didn't know. But just it's just the like shaking up the ant farm and then like watching it.
Yeah.
Good grief. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is adding microtransactions back for skins.
Only cosmetics.
Only cosmetics.
Yeah. So they
Don't get mad. Please play our game.
It was going to happen.
$35 now.
It was going to happen eventually.
Yeah, they said it was the
Yeah.
microtransactions were coming back.
So now they're back. Currently, only cosmetic, and I mean that like the thing that really pissed people off
That
was
that was the biggest complaint.
Was that like couldn't like actually like getting like Luke Skywalker and like some of the actual characters you had to pay with microtransactions.
Well, you could skip ahead to get them.
You could power level by paying for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically, you could buy like a super powerful character, or you could grind it out over months. And people were understandably very angry about that because, of course, there's a multiplayer component to Star Wars Battlefront, so it sounded an awful lot like pay to win.
I see. Is this supposed to deal? Sorry, this is Dwarf Fortress.
Darth Vader was just full paywall.
Is this supposed to deal with how you can overcome a dwarf being forced to eat their rotten spouse by having them look at a really nice statue?
That sounds like something that would happen in Dwarf Fortress.
Now they have memories.
Yeah, this is emergent.
But also in Battlefront 2, Ewoks now.
Yes.
It's
Ewoks and skins.
There's a mode the mode is called Ewok Hunt, but it's not what you think.
No.
Because it's Ewoks hunting
you play as the Ewoks.
Well, no, it's 2 teams.
Yeah.
But then once the Ewoks take out a stormtrooper, that guy respawns as an Ewok. It's the like zombie thing.
That's
bizarre.
Opens up a whole can of issues.
I have a lot of lore
canonically.
questions. Yeah, wow.
Turns out stormtroopers are all just 2 Ewoks in an outfit.
And
That's
once
why-
they kill one of them, the other Ewok's like, guess I'm just an Ewok now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I saw the headline for that, and I was like, Ewok hunt mode? That sounds
Barbaric.
extremely... Yeah, it's like, that sounds like a big problem, but also could be kind of fun. But for people who still have animosity on Ewoks ruining things, explains why stormtroopers can't aim.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, what else we got going on here?
Boss Key, Cliff Bleszinski's company. Brief timeline. Boss Key is formed, is working on Secret Project. Secret Project announced it's Lawbreakers. Development cycle for Lawbreakers. Seems promising. Lawbreakers released. Doesn't really get anywhere, probably because a lot of their marketing was targeting, like...
Overwatch players.
No, it was like, this is the game for people who are the really good and not fucking casuals. And then, so none of the casuals played it.
Like, okay, I guess we'll play it then.
So then they announced that they're stopping support for Lawbreakers, not surprising. And then a week later they announced Radical Heights, a battle royale game that has a lot of interesting things, like things that look interesting and different from other battle royale games, which is nice, in extreme early access. So they're actively working on that. And again, like I said, it shows a lot of promise in the realm of the battle royale games. And then also Cliff Bleszinski tweeted at Epic to please stop trying to hire his team.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently large chunks of their Epic keeps trying to hire away big chunks of their team. Which I mean, for the people, for the actual developers,
Yeah.
having a bunch of people courting you is probably great.
Not great for Cliff and the Boss Key team.
Yeah, of course, developers agreeing not to hire away from each other is actually super illegal.
Yeah.
And it's like an antitrust thing. There was, I think Apple and Google got into that actually.
I think so.
Anyway,
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. So there's a baseball team with kind of an awful racist name, but their game got rained out. So to kill time, somebody put up some Fortnite on the Jumbotron.
yeah, nobody knows who was actually playing Fortnite, but Fortnite came up on the Jumbotron and
Just
was
during
it was being played during the rain break. But it's nobody has come for. Presumably, it was like somebody in the booth.
Yeah, probably. It's kind of funny.
What else we got going in?
Speaking of Fortnite, the Portafort, which is a new item in the game,
This actually sounds amazing.
surprisingly versatile. So it's basically a grenade, and you throw it, and it just goes poop and makes a fort. It's sort
Which
of
is like a big tower with like a roof
It's
on
like
it.
it's like a tower with a flanged roof and a door at the bottom. And so if you put it at your feet, it just goes thump and makes a fort around you. But there's a bunch of videos of people using it for other uses, such as if you throw it into an existing building, it just destroys the building that's there and replaces it with the Portafort.
Oh, isn't that awesome?
It takes someone like a second to get out of it too. And
Yeah,
so
because there's doors that you have to like open and stairways and stuff.
There was someone. It was two people left, and the other person was running away from the storm, like the zone, and the person was like, "Wait, I wonder," and like lined it up and threw it, building the Portafort around the other player and trapping them long enough that the zone came in across and the tick damage killed them.
There's also like if you're
Offensive Portafort.
if you're like falling a long way, you throw it below you, and then the fort builds up underneath you.
Yeah, because in the bottom of it is like a pile of tires that you can bounce on. So if you position it correctly, you can just land on the tires, and then it takes away your falling damage. Yeah.
It reminds me of in my one of my old D&D games, we were pirates traveling around, and we found that there's a fairly cheap magic item that creates a tree, right? And so we realized that we're on a pirate ship. If you throw the thing, having like a 6 or 7 foot in diameter like giant redwood tree grows suddenly on the deck of your ship is a real problem.
Oh, but you could use it to perhaps dissuade other pirates into their ships.
So you throw it on the other guy's ship when you're coming up to like board them, and they have a whole issue they have to deal with before they can actually deal with you.
Nice.
Wow.
And then or you can like knock it down and use it as a bridge to get over it. It turned out to be surprisingly versatile.
That's awesome. What game was that?
This is D&D.
Oh, wow.
Or Pathfinder in this case.
Nice.
It's just, I forget what
was it?
Yeah.
And
That's all the stories we had flagged.
So somebody did say, what did you think was really exciting from the pre-release? And since we both played in the Dominaria pre-release this weekend. Dominaria. Yeah, we heard Kelly Diggs, who's like magic story guy extraordinaire. He's actually in the video that Magic the Amateur are doing, talking about the history of Dominaria. It's Dominaria, not Dominaria. So we've all been pronouncing it wrong this whole time.
Yeah.
But Dominaria, I think the most impactful card are probably the sagas. They're great.
Sagas are fun.
I thought they'd be like, meh.
It's an aria. It's the song. Dominaria is the song of Dominia, is how he explained it. Yeah, Kelly was the lead. He was the lead creative on the set. So
I like
Dominaria.
people are like, so what's the difference between Dominia and Dominaria? And he's like, there's a difference, but we messed it up. So
I can't tell you.
there isn't any anymore.
Yargle is the best card from Dominaria. See,
I mean, Yargle definitely has is the breakout star, certainly.
Yargle is definitely here to bargle.
Yeah. Yargle is a bargle to be reckoned with.
Yeah, that was so. Yeah, I think the sagas are really good. I thought that they looked a little underpowered when I looked at them. I was like, wow, you get 1/2/2, right? For 2 turns. I mean, it's like a free creature. It is very powerful. Like that saga.
That's the Benalia one?
Yeah, the history of Benalia. Let's say it's a mythic, right?
Yeah.
And it's like turn 1, a 2/2. Turn 2, another 2/2. Turn 3, a sorcery speed pump for your 2/2s. It's like.
Turns out, though, it's actually quite good.
Yeah, it turns out it's great.
Yeah, 2/1 to everybody is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for knights you control. Not everybody, just
right.
your knights.
Yeah.
Not even your whole team.
But if you
like
can
in abstract, that sounds very bad.
If you can go turn 3, History of New Benalia, make a 2/2. Turn 4, untap, make another 2/2, cast Call of Cavalry, and get another 2/2 Vigilance Knights. Then your next turn, you've got 12 power Vigilant attacking.
You got
pushing
you have 16 power
16
of vigilant.
Yeah,
I did that at the pre and it was great.
It's fun.
Yes. And even the Chainer's Torment, the one with, like drains for 2. Like you're like
I had fun with
5 mana and I drain you for 2. That's it.
I had fun with
Better than you think.
the Fire of Keld, which is it's just a 2 mana one, but it's like first you pitch your hand, then next turn you draw 2 cards. So you basically draw 3 cards on your next turn because you draw for the turn as well. And then the turn after that, any red source you control that deals damage deals as much damage plus 2.
Yeah, which is interesting, not double.
No, it's frightening though. Anyway, that replay, by the way, is up on youtube.com/loadingreadylive. It's 8 hours, and it's good stuff.
But many of those hours feature me, so you can skip them easily.
Check
What
that
a
out.
roller coaster that was.
And you can comment on it and enter to win a booster box of Dominaria. Yeah, so that's cool.
Dominaria. Agreed. I just saw Frank Lepore's review on the saga, so undecided.
Coming
I
up,
think they're nice.
Yeah, the Pitch Your Hand saga is so good in Dredge.
Oh man.
yeah.
Oh, it's so good with Hazaret. Oh, Evil Bad Man. It is so good with Hazaret.
Coming up,
Yeah.
in just a little bit, we've got Dice Friends finale
It's the finale
of Murder on Samolo Plateau.
Of this 3-episode story.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to do it last week because of sickness.
Cam was up and down with the sickness.
But
the food sickness.
Yeah.
but he's back.
He's
And
healthy.
we can finish that up this week.
Cameron, Kathleen, Corey, Ian, and Ben. And then next week on Dice Friends is going to be another little short story also with Cameron. And then after that, surprises.
Yeah, after
We
that.
do actually know. That's not me being like, surprises. I hope we'll figure out what that's going to be. No, we actually know what the surprises are, but you'll find it later.
And then tomorrow we've got New Day Tuesday, where Ian's going to be playing
Yakuza 6.
Yeah, the new Yakuza.
Oh, and after that, one more. James is going to be playing PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds tomorrow. And this is super important. James is in the tryout period for PUBG Partner, meaning that he has access to custom games for tomorrow.
Which means
So
you
you're
are
gonna,
our friends,
You're going to
our
want to
viewers.
watch and hopefully participate because James wants to make sure that we really show that it would be valuable to have us be the PUBG Partner. So you're definitely going to want to stick around for that. And then after that is Adam's Game House?
Nope.
No.
After that
Tuesdays,
is
right.
Talking Simulator.
We did the swap, yes. So now, we tweeted about this earlier, but Tuesday evenings and Thursday evenings are doing a swiggity swooty. So Talking Simulator now lives on Tuesday evenings, following one more. And Tinker Tailor Soldier Fry will be alternating Thursday evenings, following LRMTG. We did that for other reasons. Just now we can do more useful stuff on Thursdays. Don't worry about it. So.
Yeah, and then Wednesday we've got the Let's Snopes in the 9 o'clock, and we are going to be playing some more Risk. I believe.
Risk or Legacy.
Coming down to the home stretch.
Spoilers.
This planet ain't going to take much more of this.
It's almost over.
We've blown a large chunk out of it, and then
Aren't there like mutants and zombies and stuff too?
His Days
there's
Friends is the
mutants.
secret adventures.
There are
of
mutants
Mrs.
and
Ripley
also some
Circleton?
aliens
No.
now. We've just found the aliens.
Oh, good.
Or the aliens,
Good,
probably more than the aliens found us. It turned out that there was a betrayal.
There was the aliens.
Yeah, it turns out that Cam was against us the whole time. That's not necessarily true. Although in that one game, I guess he was working for the aliens.
No watch and play to make up for last week. No, we have this whole schedule set out, and so like, yes, it sucks when we miss a thing and then it
Yeah.
doesn't come back for 2 weeks. But
I'm
like,
sorry that I
it's-
was sick. Believe me, no one is more sorry that I was sick than I am.
Yeah.
Kathleen, very close second, but I promise you, the
Penelope
most
was so
sorry.
sad that you were sick.
Yeah, she was also pretty bummed about it, yeah.
Yeah, Alex was super happy you decided to cancel the stream though.
Oh, well.
Well, like he's like, I don't want
Oh,
that.
no, he wasn't happy that I was sick. He was happy that I didn't try to power through it and come
Correct.
into work.
And
yeah,
then
F
infect
that.
him.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah, that's why we cancel streams when people are sick.
I'm not a wang.
Oh yeah, actually that's a good point. There are mutants, aliens, and also there's a plague killing everybody.
Good. And
Yeah.
also just Cameron.
Yeah, he's killed a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's a bad scene. It's not a nice planet. It's a do-over planet, I think. It's not.
this one
It's a
up.
planet that was not well managed. Anyway, and then on Friday Night Card Fight we got Commander this week.
Nice.
So, anyway, all sorts of fun stuff coming up. Keep
Oh
an
yeah,
eye.
my dating game stream returns this week too.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna play the Arcana with Heather.
the Arcana.
The Arcana.
Do you date magic?
No, it's like all like tarot inspired or something.
cool.
So either Heather and I are gonna be like, this is great because it reminds us of Persona, or this game is shit and we're mad.
You're gonna come
I mean,
home
either way, it's a
absolutely-
good stream.
Stumble home absolutely twisted with an armful of swords.
Oh, massive swords! Look at the size of those boys.
All right, that's going to do it for Checkpoint.
Absolute.
Let's do the subs.
Yeah.
Let us and welcome the subs.
But more Hustle Cat. We finished Hustle Cat. Corey and I went through an arc on Hustle Cat, and we might go back and play more Hustle Cat. The Panelists is coming out on April 26th, so very soon. Like, I just have to, like, we've got a
10
bunch
days.
filmed. We're just waiting for all of the assets to make sure it looks great and sounds great.
Alrighty. Thank you everybody who has supported this channel through subscriptions and bits and Patreon and all that awesome stuff. But in particular, thank you to these people who subscribed during the stream.
Yay!
Starting with Raneko for 36 months, 3 years of watching points being checked.
And Mugu Lord for 5 months. Hooray, Mugu Lord.
First big hungry one, 16-month resub. Welcome back.
Not the Penguins for 17 months. Just in time for points to be checked.
Wire catering.
H-Bomb and Friends for 2 months says 2 months, that's twice as much as 1 month. Correct. Thanks for returning.
Vixia, 19-month reset. Please accept this monthly supply of Bezos coin. Totally worth it for all the awesome content. Thank you.
Eliru Aran for 23 months.
Eli.
I remembered we're back. Looked up,
Generic Evil
Thank you,
Genius for 47 months says, shout out to my love lady Mirnus for making sure I never miss a checkpoint. To Mirnus.
NQBW. 6-month reset. Welcome back.
Agnor 33 for 52 months. Checkpoint, yay.
S.A. Jewers for 24 months says, Twitch, your frame bucket is leaking.
Twitch know why. It's All Nightshade, 10-month resub. After Saturday's live Sidewalk Slam, could we get more live podcasts in the future? Maybe.
Foxmar 320 with that 52 months. I could use a hug. Aww.
Hug
Hugs.
this man. Hug this man.
Gramelin, 48 months.
Growleman.
Gramelam. Gramelam.
Aquarionics with a 48-month
Bow,
resub. 48 is apparently a highly totient number, which sounds like it should be cooler than it is.
Gramelin.
Siege for 5 months.
And Wasterfui for 19 months.
Keisho 671 with a 2-month resub.
Dilbert for 19 months. Insert obligatory reminder about page on website.
Ooh,
We know it's out of date. Lady Desco for 14 months. Let's just take the page down. That's all.
Willie Nelson with an 8-month resub. Welcome
What a
back.
great username.
Basil Hunter for 17 months. Thank you all for the quality content you produce. As a result, I no longer have a cable subscription, and you don't miss it at all.
We're saving money. That's
Screw
it,
you,
saving
old
money.
media.
Yeah. Taste it.
Neljandic for 23 months says Kathleen for prom DJ.
GNU/Squid with a 12-month resub. Paul, it's called GNU/Unix, not GNU/Linux, not Linux. I missed the rest of the sentence. I'm so sorry.
Roman Goro for 41 months. Almost the answer to the question of life, the universe, and everything else. Story of my life.
I don't know if that person was being helpful or dunking on you.
Oscar
We'll never know
Battlebeard is a new subscriber.
Well, a new subscriber.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah.
A tiny space marine for 45 months. Pro tip, don't name dwarfs after real people. Like, it's weird fast.
Sammy229 for 52 months says too many cooks. Lol, I remember that joke.
Yep. Drain 10 with a 10-month resub. 10.
Perfect 10.
Jungie27 for 3 months. Yay, games. Glad Cam is healthy for Dice Friends tonight.
Me too. Clickru for 8 months says, apparently Twitch gave me the possibility to write up another sub message, so let's not screw this up. Hi?
Hi. And thanks for, 2,406 bits from H-Bomb and Friends, Foxmar 320, Earth and One, Lord Crusher, Drummy, the Maricat, NQBW, My Name is E, Mega Rammy, Peter, 200LX, pardon me, Rock Pusher, G7891, and Valhalla Knight. Thank you all.
Thank you all for the awesome bits.
Yeah.
And subscribing and all that good stuff.
Dunking, but mostly memeing. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Good,
It
good,
was
good.
it was
All right.
a GNU Linux thing.
That's what I thought, yeah.
But I don't.
Some of those people got those jokes.
I consider myself dunked upon.
Good, good.
I
One
consider
of
my
ours,
hair
okay.
looking really nice today.
Good.
So fluffy.
I'm here. All right, we're going to take off and come back in a couple hours for Dice Friends. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Later.
Only 1 hour. In a couple hours, Dice Friends might be over.
Sorry, what? It's
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 almost
Oh,
three.
wait, no, right. Sorry, I thought it was 4.
Okay,
I'm
good.
confused.
We're good. We're fine. 2
Sorry.
hours.
No, if it's
Sorry.
4, I've have missed many appointments that I've scheduled specifically between 3 and 5 to accommodate for Dice Friends and Checkpoint.
Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of which, let's go.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.